Before anything else, I want you to do a quick scan of your own life.
How many mornings this week did you wake up more tired than when you went to bed?
Imagine this scene. You are exhausted. Not the "I stayed up too late watching a movie" tired. I'm talking about a bone-deep, heavy exhaustion, like you're wearing a lead vest every time you try to get out of bed. You catch your reflection in the mirror, and the face staring back at you feels unfamiliar, a little puffy. The weight is creeping up around your midsection, even though you're eating salads and walking every day and doing everything right. In the shower, you start seeing more hair collecting around the drain, clumps that are just too big to be normal. You feel cold when everyone else is perfectly comfortable. And the scariest part isn't even the body changes, it's your brain. It feels like it's full of cotton wool. You lose simple words in the middle of a sentence and then wonder, quietly, is this just aging, or is something actually wrong with me? So you finally gather the energy to make an appointment. You sit in the waiting room, you see the doctor, you explain how you feel, and you get the blood work done. You wait a few days hoping for an answer, maybe even hoping for a pill that will fix it. And then you get the call or the portal notification with the phrase that, in my opinion, is one of the most dangerous sentences in modern medicine. Your TSH is normal. You are fine. But what if normal is not the same thing as optimal? And what if that piece of paper is telling a lie by omission? Welcome back. Today, we are not just reading down a list of symptoms you already know you have. I am going to show you how to read the dashboard of your own biology. We are going to decode how TSH, free T4, and T3 actually fit together, and why Hashimoto's disease changes the entire flight plan for those of us over 40. Before we dive into the deep science, I need to give you the necessary disclaimer. I am a researcher sharing data, not your personal physician. This video is for educational purposes only. Always talk to your clinician before changing any medication or supplement routine. We're dealing with your hormones here, and they demand respect. Let's set the context properly. Hypothyroidism is insidious. It is invisible. The symptoms creep into your life so slowly that you rationalize them away. You think, maybe I'm just getting older. Maybe this is what 45 feels like. Maybe I'm just stressed. The Mayo Clinic lists the classic symptoms we discussed: fatigue, cold sensitivity, constipation, dry skin, depression. But here is the kicker that changes everything. In the United States and most of the Western world, the #1 cause of this condition is not a lack of iodine. It is not because you didn't eat enough salt. It is your own immune system attacking you. It is Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And here's my controversial stance on this based on looking at thousands of cases and the latest literature. If you feel terrible, but your lab results say you're fine, you are not crazy, you are not lazy, and you are not imagining it. You are simply looking at an incomplete map. I see this pattern constantly in people over 40. Your TSH is managed by medication, the numbers look perfect on a chart, but you feel like a metabolic zombie. Why does this happen? Because insurance-based medicine often treats the thyroid like a simple light switch that is on or off. But the reality of your endocrinology is that it is a symphony orchestra. And if you don't understand the backstage, the inflammation, the antibodies, the conversion pathways, you will spend the next decade treating the wrong symptom with antidepressants or sleeping pills when the root cause is right there in your neck. My mission today is to hand you the flashlight. Get ready, because what you are about to discover about your body's thermostat might completely change your next conversation with your doctor. To understand where traditional care sometimes falls short, we need to move away from abstract medical terms and use visual analogies that help you picture exactly what's happening inside yourselves. We need to break this down into 3 biological mysteries that explain why you feel the way you do. The first mystery is the thermostat, which is your TSH. TSH stands for thyroid-stimulating hormone. Most people think TSH is a thyroid hormone, but it is actually a pituitary hormone. It comes from your brain. Think of TSH as the thermostat on the wall of your living room.
The thermostat is not the heat itself. It is the request for heat. When your brain senses that your body is cold, metabolically speaking, meaning you don't have enough energy, it cranks up the TSH dial to scream at the thyroid gland, work harder, produce more. So when you see a high TSH on your lab report, it usually means hypothyroidism because your brain is screaming for more energy. So far, so good. This is the gold standard of care. If the brain is screaming, you treat it. But here is the twist that fascinates researchers and frustrates patients. Sometimes the thermostat says the temperature is perfect. It stops screaming. The numbers look beautiful on paper, but the house is still freezing. The residents are shivering. How is that possible? This leads us to the second mystery, which is the battery, or T3. Your thyroid gland mostly produces a hormone called T4. T4 is a storage hormone. Think of T4 like crude oil. It is valuable, but you cannot put crude oil directly into your car's engine to drive to the store. It won't work. To get energy, your body must refine that crude oil. It must convert T4 into T3. T3 is the refined gasoline. T3 is the active battery that goes inside every single cell in your body and turns the lights on. It controls your metabolism, your mood, your hair growth, and your digestion. Now here is the critical problem. Most doctors assume that if they give you T4 medication like levothyroxine, your body will perfectly convert it into T3. And I want to be fair. For the majority of people, this works perfectly. Their liver and gut take that T4 and turn it into the energy they need. But recent reviews in 2024 and studies from major endocrine journals suggest there is a significant subgroup of patients, perhaps you, who have a broken conversion process. They have plenty of crude oil, so their TSH thermostat looks normal, but they have no gasoline in the tank. Their cells are starving for T3 while their blood work looks fine. This is called tissue hypothyroidism. Here is my critique of the current system. If your doctor only checks TSH, they are essentially checking the wall thermostat, seeing it set to 72 degrees, and ignoring the fact that the furnace in the basement is broken and the windows are blown out. This is why the debate on T3 medication is roaring back in 2025. It's not for everyone, but denying that conversion issues exist is simply not scientific. And finally, we have the third mystery, which is the background fire, or Hashimoto's. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune condition. This means your body creates antibodies, specifically anti-TPO and anti-TG, that tag your thyroid gland for destruction like it's a virus. Here's a crucial detail often skipped in a 15-minute consult. You can have high antibodies for years, sometimes a decade, before your TSH ever goes out of range. It's a silent fire burning in the background. You feel the fatigue of inflammation, the brain fog of the immune attack, and the joint pain, but because the thermostat hasn't broken yet, you're told you're healthy. Ignoring your lifestyle and diet when you have an autoimmune disease is, in my opinion, like trying to wave away the smoke while ignoring the fire burning down the kitchen. Now that we've removed the blindfold and understood the biology, let's get extremely practical. Information is useless if you cannot use it to advocate for yourself. How do you use this information in your next doctor's visit without sounding arrogant, but being firm and assertive about your health? I've categorized the most common scenarios into 3 specific lab patterns. I want you to listen closely and identify which one matches your situation. Pattern number 1 is classic hypothyroidism. In this pattern, your TSH is high and your free T4 is low. This is straightforward. Your thyroid is underproducing. In this scenario, standard medication is often a lifesaver. I want to be clear, do not fight the medication if you need it. Thyroid hormone is essential for life. You cannot supplement your way out of a dead thyroid gland. The goal here is simply finding the right dose where your symptoms vanish, not just where the numbers land in the reference range. Pattern number 2 is the tricky one. I call it the treated but tired pattern. In this scenario, you're already taking medication. Your TSH is normal, maybe even perfect, but you still feel awful. You still can't lose weight, you're still depressed. This is the classic conversion issue we discussed. Here is the actionable step for you.
You need to ask your doctor for data. You can say something like this: "Doctor, I know my TSH is normal, but I still feel symptomatic. Can we check my free T3 levels? If my free T3 is in the bottom part of the range, does it make sense to discuss if I'm a poor converter?" Notice the nuance in that question. You are not demanding drugs. You are not acting like you know more than them. You are asking for an investigation based on evidence. It is a shared decision. You have the right to know if your batteries are charging. If your T3 is low, there are protocols involving combination therapy that might help, but you need the data first. Pattern number 3 is hidden Hashimoto's. In this pattern, your TSH and T4 are totally normal, but your antibodies are high. Most doctors will not prescribe hormones here, and they are generally right to do so, because your gland still works. But this is not a do-nothing moment. This is a manage-to-fire moment. If you ignore this, that fire will eventually destroy the gland. The question to ask here is, "Doctor, I know my thyroid functions, but my immune system is attacking it. How can we monitor this inflammation? What is our trigger point for intervention?" At this stage, your lifestyle becomes your primary medication. Sleep is non-negotiable, stress management is non-negotiable, and gut health is paramount. There is a strong link between gut permeability and autoimmune flare-ups. This is where you look at triggers like gluten or dairy, not because of a fad, but because you are trying to lower the immune system's burden. You are managing a fire, not fixing a broken wall. By understanding these 3 patterns, you move from being a passive patient to an active participant in your own rescue. I want to end this with a reflection that goes beyond biochemistry and lab values. We need to talk about the emotional toll of this condition. If you have ever been dismissed with a "you're fine" while your body was screaming otherwise, I know how much that hurts. I know how isolating it feels. It's a form of unintentional medical gaslighting. You start to doubt your own reality. You start to wonder if maybe you really are just lazy, or if maybe you just need to try harder. But I want you to hear this. Hypothyroidism is not a moral failure. You are not lazy. You are not just getting old. It's biology. It's a physiological state where your cells are starving for energy. And the beauty of biology in 2025 is that it can be mapped, it can be understood, and it can be managed. We are no longer in the era of accepting a single number as the final verdict on our quality of life. The fields of neuroplasticity, endocrinology, and immunology are all converging to tell us one thing: every patient is a unique universe. What works for the broad population statistics might not work for you, and that's okay. You are an individual, not a statistic. So here's your homework to take back control of your health span. First, keep a symptom log for 2 weeks. Write down how you feel after you eat, how you feel when you wake up. Data wins arguments. Second, track the trend of your labs over time, not just the snapshot of today. Is your TSH creeping up year over year? That matters. And third, have the courage to ask the questions we practiced today. I've shown you my view on the thyroid dashboard, but now I need your opinion, and this is crucial for our community of people navigating this same path. Have you ever been in pattern number 2, treated but still exhausted? Did you find a doctor who listened, or are you still searching? How did that conversation go? Tell me your story in the comments below. I read them, and more importantly, your story might be the exact thing someone else needs to read to find the courage to ask for a second opinion or to try a new approach. If you want practical science without the drama, and you want to know exactly what to eat to lower that inflammation background fire we talked about, Make sure you're subscribed. In the next video, we're going to break down the nutrition for Hashimoto's, looking at what the latest science actually says about gluten, selenium, and dairy. Until then, remember, normal is just a statistical average. Health is how you feel.